Hi, this is Chris, Video Game Dust Leaves, and you're listening to the VGDS podcast with my co-host, Linda the Gamer Girl,
Yo, what's up, everybody?
and my guest gamers, DanCavDragon,
Hello, everyone listening out there.
BonesZ06,
What's up, everybody? It's podcast time.
and our new podcaster today, Big Evil.
What's going on, guys? BigEvilGaming live from the bunker here on the Video Game Dust Leaves pod.
Our first segment is Sleeve It or Leave It. And we're going to start with the title Dark Arms for the Neo Geo. Dan, would you sleeve it or leave it?
Oh, geez. Well, full disclosure here, this is a game that I asked Chris to sleeve for me. So obviously, yes, I would sleeve this game.
Bones, sleeve it or leave it?
I don't own a Neo Geo, and I don't know the game, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with don't sleeve it.
Linda, sleeve it or leave it?
I would sleeve it. I played this game. It's really good.
Big Evil, sleeve it or leave it?
Dark Arms Beastbuster 99. Very good game. I would go ahead and sleeve it. I've had the honor of playing it. I enjoyed it. I loved it. And yeah, I'd have to say.
Okay. Next title. Cookie Monster Munch. That's right, I said Cookie Monster.
Atari 2600.
I wonder why Linda knows that. Linda, would you sleeve it or leave it?
This one, hint, hint. I think there's a pattern, a theme going on here. I asked him to sleeve it for me. So yes, I would sleeve this one.
Bones, would you sleeve it or leave it?
Cookie Monster not have game, Cookie Monster not sleeve.
Dan,
I
would you like to do the
follow-
Cookie Monster voice too?
I was gonna say I can't follow that up. Sorry, but as much as I love Atari 2600, I don't have this game, and if I only had $1 left on me, I don't think I would sleeve the game.
Wow! What a slap in Cookie Monster's face!
Wow. Yeah.
Wow! I love Cookie Monster. God damn it! All right, Logan, would you sleeve it or leave it?
At one point, I did have an Atari 2600, and I did own this game.
Did you actually play it?
I did. I played it like twice, and I didn't like it. I don't know what it was. I just didn't enjoy it. So, Cookie Monster have to say leave it. Nom 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 nom.
Okay, on to the next game. Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker for the N64. Logan, would you sleeve it or leave it?
I would sleeve it. This is one game that I unfortunately do not have, but I did have in the past when I had my old N64. I loved it. Besides the clunky graphics, but it was a classic in my heart, so I would go ahead and sleeve.
And Bones?
Well, you're following that suit quite well. You know I will sleeve this because you have made me sleeve for this game already.
Yo, honestly, I did not do this on purpose.
Well, you did a heck of a job, man.
Didn't I? And Dan?
Although I do not have this game, I am a huge fan of Batman and the animated series. So anything remotely related to that, I would definitely collect, and definitely, if I had this game, I would sleeve it for sure.
And Linda?
I would sleeve it. Batman is a great genre. So that one, it's a rare thing I would do for N64. So that one, top of the list for sleeve.
Of course, it's Batman. Okay, on to the next one. It's Turtles in Time for the Super NES. Bones, would you sleeve it or leave it?
Hell yeah, I'd sleeve that game.
Dan?
A big yes for me. One of the best titles on SNES, in my opinion. Definitely a sleeve for me.
Logan?
I'm gonna have to follow suit. Definitely would have to sleeve it. In my opinion, and I know I'm gonna catch hell for this, best Turtles game in history. In my opinion, I love this game. Fantastic game. Sleeve.
Yeah, I have to say you're pretty much correct on that statement. Linda?
I'm with Logan. This made the top 3 for mine. It was number 1. So yes, it's definitely sleeve for leave. Come on now, sleeve that game.
I mean, seriously, who wouldn't?
I haven't gotten my sleeve made for this one yet, but it will eventually be sleeved.
Traitor.
I'm getting there. I got too many other ones on that list right now.
All right, on to the next segment. Logo sleeve of the month. And this month it goes to T-Belly.
Ooh.
Exactly. Great live streamer. Great friend. And these sleeves, any logo sleeves that you see are available for sale. So if you like what you see, proceeds go to his channel. So please don't hesitate and order the sleeve. On to the next segment, which is guess that box art. I will give you one clue. This is a Sega game. That's your
I go
only
last.
Clue. That's your only clue for right now. I'll start
Did you
with.
say Bones?
He
I
said
said
he'll
I
go
go
last.
last.
Know what it is?
Yeah, more than
Yes.
likely he does. You probably were looking at your games.
No.
Anyway,
I don't have the box art for it, but I know what that stupid guy is from, so
okay, I'll start with Dan then. Dan, what's your guess?
Oh man, I've been staring at this picture and I don't even have a clue what this is. I'm going to just start off with the bad guess, but how about Rastan Saga?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Linda, yes?
Okay, let's see. I see a jacket. Oh, Comic Zone! Comic Zone!
yeah.
Yep, you got it.
I would have got that wrong instantly. I would have said
Woo!
Gauntlet, man.
You got it. You got it. Hey. Got a
Yeah.
clap. Got the J-Lo clap going on.
Yes, the jacket. You know how you've seen the jacket somewhere? I was like, I've seen that jacket.
The orange hand with the guy with the red mask over there, like the executioner, kind of is what gave it away for me. It took a minute to realize it, but then I was
Like
that's
you
what
have
it
to
is.
look at it. Like I've seen that
How
cover
did-
so many
I
times.
don't know how the hell you got that one, to be honest with you.
But like you know,
Well,
like
I was thinking NES too. How about you, Linda? And then he said Genesis, and that's when I was like, "Oh man, what the hell is it?"
well, see the green threw me off. I had no idea where that was going.
Yeah, same here. Like, I was
I was
thinking
thinking a little
NES
bit of
too.
Saturn too.
Yeah, as soon as he said Sega, I was like, well, damn, there goes my guess.
Yeah, it's not that easy. And I'm gonna probably be incorporating like another one because you guys are getting pretty good at this lately.
Yeah.
So I think the next couple podcasts I'll add an extra one in.
2 of them. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do 2. Okay.
Nice.
Now this is the portion where we're gonna learn about Big Evil Logan. So Logan, give us a little bit of background about yourself. You know what it is that you do, what kind of games you play, things of that nature.
All right. Anyway, so my name is Logan. I'm known on YouTube as BigEvilGaming. I do pretty much live streams. I do videos, a couple videos. I do everything from retro games, anywhere from NES, Super Nintendo, N64, all the way up to modern, newer day stuff, Xbox One, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and I basically do everything and anything I can. I stream every Tuesday, but with life permitting, sometimes that gets off track. And I know everybody here, can attest to that fact. Started my journey July 28, 2014. So I've been going roughly almost 5 years about doing this. I enjoy it. It's fun. I've met a lot of cool people. I originally started out on Twitch. Did that for about a year and never really kind of got the following or never really kind of felt a sense of accomplishment on Twitch. It was kind of just like, I always can do better and kept pushing myself towards it. And it was actually a couple friends of mine. Chris Levi 13 was one of them that was kind of like, hey man, like try out YouTube. You might get more success there. You might get more people noticing your content. And I tried it out, and instantly found a lot of cool people that kind of had the same idea about stuff that I had, and we clicked and we became really good friends. And with the retro gaming community and even the gaming community in a sense, like I've made a lot of cool friends with them through that. For like collections or anything, I really don't have a huge collection, but I am starting to look more into getting certain games for like the Super Nintendo, the N64, kind of in that sense. So
Yeah, you don't need a big collection to be a gamer. You know what I mean?
exactly.
You can have 2 games and you're a gamer. You know.
Yeah, I feel you there.
As long as you're playing the game, I mean, that's all that really matters.
As long as you're playing it and having fun, that's all that really matters, you know.
So did you say? I don't know. I don't know if I heard you or not. Did you say what platform you started on? You said I heard you say you switched to. You went to YouTube. Where did you start?
Yeah, I started on Twitch.
Oh, okay. You started on Twitch.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, I started on
Alright.
Twitch in 2013 and really didn't catch on to Twitch, really didn't have a big following. And then switched over to YouTube with the help of a buddy of mine, and it just boom, clicked off from there. So
Yeah. So what type of games do you play? Like platformers, shoot 'em ups?
I play anything and anything from RPGs to shooters, platformers, strategy games. Basically, if you guys check out my channel, I've got like strodes of games that I've played.
Open world
all
is your
spec-
favorite, probably.
What's that?
We usually check out, and you're mostly playing open world.
Yeah, open world games are by far my favorite. One of my all-time favorite series is Fallout. I'm a huge Fallout nerd. I've played every Fallout game except for the first one, but I've absolutely loved the series. Just the concept, kind of a little bit of realism in it too, because it's like, you know, whoa, taking it back, like, whoa, this could actually happen. You know, this could be a possibility of life, and it kind of gets you thinking. But I enjoy playing shooters a lot, doing open world RPGs. I definitely love doing as well. So
What? How did you get involved into gaming? Like, what was your, I guess, your first games or your first console that
uh,
really boosted all for you?
for that, it would have been. I remember when I was young, my sister had a NES and a Super Nintendo that she got for a few birthdays, and she really never like allowed me to play them, but I would usually sneak in and play them anyway. Because I was a dumb kid and I had nothing to do on the weekends, so I would usually sneak into my mom and dad's room and play the play the NES, the Super Nintendo. The first console that I actually ever owned, a buddy of mine, me and him literally ran all summer. We did a lemonade stand. We sold ice cream sandwiches and like a whole bunch of other stuff on the street corner. And we actually made enough money between the two of us that we could split them. And with a little bit of help, I was able to afford the Nintendo 64. And I had Super Mario 64, GoldenEye 07, 007, Conker's Bad Fur Day, which was actually my sister's, but I still played it because I enjoyed it. It was really fun. But unfortunately, it actually got lost in a move, and I never found it. And with the help of my community, actually Slayer768, shout out to Slayer, actually had an extra N64 that he sent and mailed to me with a couple games that actually got me started. And I unfortunately didn't make a video of it because I was so pressed on time, but it just blew me away. Like, oh my God, like this is one of the first consoles I ever had when I was a kid that I owned, that was originally mine. And now I have it back here in my hands, and it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, this community is pretty awesome. A lot of people are really involved, and they want to help you, anybody for that matter that does YouTube in the retro community, try to make and get you what you had before, even if you don't have the means of getting it yourself. That's
Yeah.
how generosity, real generous community, that gaming community, I should say, not retro only, because of gaming in general.
Yeah, and I mean, there's just so many amazing people that you can meet in this community.
For
It's
sure.
it's breath.
Um, Linda, you have a question?
Yeah. When you were on Twitch, did you change your format to move to YouTube, or did you just stay the same as you were and you saw a difference from YouTube to Twitch?
At first, I did kind of change it around because you can go back and you can see a lot of my previous videos, and they were kind of all over the place. Whereas with Twitch, I really didn't have a sense of how, a streamer should be or how they should be set up or what they should be doing. But when I moved over to YouTube, I kind of had like a little bit more of a sense of, okay, there's a certain aspect of people that like this style of game. There's a certain aspect of people that like this kind of game. And, I kind of had to search and see like what was kind of going on and what was popular with people, that could, pertain to a certain group of people that would want to see that played and would want that entertained. And as I kept going through the years and kept, changing and changing, it basically just came to the point of, as long as I can have one person, just, take their time out of their day to just come by and, let me entertain them and see what I'm playing, bring a smile to their face, like that makes me happy. And back when I was in Twitch, I wanted to have, a lot of people come by and try to appease to all those people and listen to them. And as I went through and, switched over to YouTube and changed, it was starting, and I started learning, it's not about so much about like, and I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad to listen to what the fans or the people want, but it's more about wanting, kind of feeling good about what you're doing and making sure that your content or whatever you're putting out there makes you feel good as well.
Right, because if you don't like enjoy what you're doing, then it's gonna read off of you, like when you're doing YouTube or Twitch, whatever you're streaming on.
Exactly.
Besides gaming, what do you do? Like, do you have any activities besides gaming that you're involved in?
Besides gaming, I'm an avid sports fan. I love baseball. I'm a Chicago Cubs fan for life. Definitely love that. I was doing training to become a professional wrestler here in California.
Wow.
Unfortunately, just with constraints and money issues, we kind of had something that happened that really put a damper on the funds for that, and I wasn't able to continue my training, even though I was literally 4 months out of debuting for the indie promotion that I was working for here, which really kind of hit hard because I'm a huge fan of professional wrestling, and my aunt was really the one that wanted me to pursue my dream when nobody else thought it was possible. And I have a tattoo that's on my right upper arm, and it's the Undertaker symbol from WWE, and
Yes.
That's cool.
it has two meanings to it, and one is in actually has three meanings. One is it's for my aunt because she was the one who got me into it back in the 90s. And the first time I ever saw wrestling, I saw the Undertaker on TV live, and it just amazed me. And I was like, "Whoa, this is amazing!" And I was hooked since that day. And the second meaning is because I'm an avid wrestling fan, and the third one is that I actually was pronounced dead in a hospital from this medication that they gave me that I found out I was highly allergic to, and it caused me to go into cardiac arrest, and I was dead. I was labeled dead for 3 minutes.
Holy crap.
Wow.
And they resuscitated me and brought me back, and
Dude.
it basically the symbol on my arm means that I faced death face to face and overcame him and was able to come back into the world. So
Well, what do you say after that?
right. and I mean the full story of that, I also do story times on Sunday, every Sunday.
And honestly, I was at one of those story times, and I think it was the story time. There was one, I don't know, you remember, I was in one of your streams.
Yeah, I remember.
And I remember you talking about wrestling. That's why I brought up what do you do besides
Yeah.
gaming. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy that you died and you came back. Wow.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, that a lot of people, especially when I tell that story, they're like, "How is it possible?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's possible." And I actually have a record that it's not with me. It's back because I'm originally from the Midwest. I'm originally from I was born in Nebraska, moved to Iowa in '05 to be with my mother's family after my mother got divorced, and so all my records are back there. But I actually had a record that stated on it "deceased" on it. And
Wow.
it's really creepy. Yeah, I used to bring that out and let people see it, and just their eyes were like, "Oh my god!" Like, this is so weird.
That is crazy. Hey Bones, do you have any questions for Logan?
Logan, do you ever want to have a full set of any specific system? Say like a whole Super Nintendo set, or are you literally just looking for specific titles and not completing ever a full set?
For me, it's kind of 50-50. There are certain games that I am looking for certain systems. And I mean, there's a lot out there for the Super Nintendo. I'm a huge what's the game? I'm a huge Earthbound fan when it comes to Super Nintendo, but I know that the price for that game is so up there that it's going to be impossible for me to get that game anytime soon. But when it comes to like a full set, I would love to have a complete N64 collection. I would love to have a complete Super Nintendo collection, PS2 collection. But when it comes to like certain games, yeah, I'm always looking for certain games, but I'm always looking to complete a collection as well, because you always feel that sense of pride when you have a full collection. It's like, thinking back of all these great games that we played, as kids or going throughout the years, you kind of want to share that with people. And so for me, yeah, there are certain games that I'm looking for certain systems. I know for the PS2, two of my favorite games are the Resident Evil Outbreak and Outbreak File 2 series. Like, I've always loved those, but I just can't seem to find them anywhere I go. It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to collecting, now when you're talking about you want the full set, now are you talking complete in box full set, or are you just talking cart only when it comes to cartridges? Are you talking for PS2? You said whole set, like manual, everything in the case, or are you just talking loose CD?
I meant loose, so.
Oh, well, for PS2, like, I would love to have the
Complete?
cases in them.
Right.
Like, yeah, complete. Like, some of them can be missing the manual. Like,
Right.
for that, it really doesn't matter. But for like N64 for the Super Nintendo, like, mostly just carts would be cool. Because, I mean, I could always talk to Chris and get some video game dust sleeves, right? I mean, come on.
Ding, 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 ding.
Exactly.
You are correct.
You can ask anybody in here. I mean, Bones is going for a complete set N64 set, so and I sleeved probably
60 away.
probably like 75% of his collection already.
Yeah, so I mean, I would love to have for the older consoles, I would love to have just like maybe carts or something, because I know complete in box can be up there in price range. But for PS2, I know that you can usually get a lot of games in box for not a lot. So depending on the game, I mean, but yeah, I would love to have a complete cart set.
You have any other questions, Bones?
What's the oldest system that you would collect for, Logan?
The oldest system that I probably would collect for would probably have to be the Super Nintendo. Because with the NES, I have an NES Classic, so just kind of collecting for that really wouldn't do me any good. Being that I sent it off to a buddy of mine, and he put every American release NES game on the Classic. So it's kind of like, well, I have all of them there anyway on the NES Classic. But for the Super Nintendo, like, I just kind of want to collect it myself as just something to do, something to be proud of and show off. But Super Nintendo would definitely have to be just the oldest, because I remember there were so many good games that I would play on the Super Nintendo as a kid. But other than that, it would have to be the Nintendo 64. because that was the first console that I ever owned, and it would just bring back so many memories of just getting out of school and just inviting over a couple friends and playing like Mario Kart 64, playing ECW Hardcore Revolution, or playing 007 GoldenEye and beating the crap out of somebody with my Moonraker lasers, But it would just bring back so many memories of, hey, I did this when I was a kid, and maybe even down the road someday having children of my own being like, you know what, your old man played this when I was your age,
I mean,
one more question for you. Do you like repair your own systems or anything like that?
Sometimes I do. If it's like a small fix, sometimes I do. If it's not, absolutely not, because I'm not tech savvy. My girlfriend, Mrs. Evil, is a PC tech, so like whenever it comes to games that I'm playing on the PC, she's the one I call. But when it comes to my consoles, usually not. I'm not the one to fix it.
She doesn't.
I usually,
she doesn't touch the consoles.
Oh, I mean, she plays them from time to time, but when it comes to like fixing issues or anything like that,
fixing issues, she doesn't.
We don't touch them. No.
Oh, really? Because I mean, being a computer tech, it's pretty much the same concept.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's just the reason that she hasn't tried it before.
Yeah, so, I'm pretty sure she can handle it if she knows how to work her way around a computer repair technician type of person. She can definitely handle console.
Yeah, I believe she could do it. I know she could do it, but I think
the only reason I know that is because I myself I do it. I know a lot about computer repair, and so if I can do it, she can do it.
Well, I definitely know who to call on when a console breaks down.
That was your final question for him, Bones?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Dan, you have
anything else?
You have anything, Dan?
Sure. I have 3 questions. Let me see if I can fit them all in.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
But real inspirational stuff there, Logan. I mean, about the near-death experience there. That's amazing, man.
I really wouldn't say amazing, but
no, I mean, like
coming back is amazing.
Yeah,
but
coming back,
amazing. That's very positive.
Very scary, very scary.
My first question is, so what's your prized possession in your collection?
Prized possession would probably have to be. Let's see. It would probably have to be The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past for the Super Nintendo, because I have been wanting that game forever and just looking for it. And a person through the community actually sent it to me, and they're like, "Hey, it's no trouble. Like, I had an extra one laying around. Here you go." And I was just looking everywhere for it. Couldn't find one that was in a decent, workable condition. And this one's absolutely perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a loose cart. It wasn't full in box, but I didn't care because I take really good care of my games anyway. And that's probably my most prized possession because there's one game I absolutely love. It's just so fun to play.
Yeah, that's cool. That's definitely one of my favorite games as well for SNES. You mentioned Earthbound already, but like, what's like top of your wish list of something you would really want to have?
Oh boy. Top of my wish list is probably one console that I never had the chance to own, but I've always wanted to, and to have even maybe like a fourth of the collection for it. The one console that I've always wanted to get, but I never really had the opportunity to, was the Nintendo GameCube. I had friends of mine that had them. I was a huge fan, but unfortunately it passed me by, and the next generation of consoles that came out, so I didn't get the opportunity to have the GameCube. But that's definitely on the wish list. It's high priority. It's probably like 2 or 3 on there. The first one though would definitely have to be just owning Earthbound because I'm just such a fan. But definitely getting the Nintendo GameCube, and being able to do a review video on that, do a live stream of it, play some games, have some fun with it would be something that I would very much love to experience.
That's cool. If you ever get one, I hear Chris may be working on a sleeve for the box there. So.
Throw me in there again, huh?
Cheap plug! Can we get a cheap
my
plug
gosh, man.
counter up on the side there? Just the
Cheap
video
plugs.
game dusty.
We can keep going it.
keep that in mind there.
Let's just keep sleeving it on.
All right, my final question is I'm actually a huge wrestling fan myself. Most people don't know that, but do you got any good? I don't own that many wrestling games. Can you recommend a good wrestling game on any system?
Yeah, definitely for the N64. If you were an old school fan of ECW Hardcore Revolution is definitely a good one to have.
Yes.
What's up?
It's
Linda?
such a good game, man. That is such a good
It
game,
is.
man.
She was just saying, yeah,
It
that was a
is.
good game.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Cut out a little bit,
It's
so
all
I
good.
apologize. But the control system is a little wonky, I will say. Like learning how to do the moves and stuff, it's a little hard to understand. But once you figure it out, it's really fun. Another one, WWF Warzone, definitely fun.
Honestly, pretty much anything on the N64 that came out that was a wrestling game is pretty good.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you got a PlayStation
Warzone on
2,
the PS1 is also good too.
yes, that's a very good one. If you got a PlayStation 2, any of the SmackDown versus Raw games are really good. Definitely SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, by far one of the greatest wrestling games on
What year
PlayStation
did that
2.
come out, Logan?
Which one?
The last one you said.
Oh, Here Comes the Pain. I think it came out. Oh Lord,
08?
2002.
Is that with Brock Lesnar on the outside of the cover?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, all right.
I think that was like 07.
No, that wasn't 07. That was around,
Oh.
I want to say 2002, 2003, maybe.
Well, I
'Cause
have the SmackDown vs. Raw 08, I think, and 09. And I don't know if I
08
have
and
any of the other
09.
ones.
08 and 09 weren't bad. 08 is really good. The only reason I dislike 09 is because they got rid of one of my favorite modes, and that was the general manager mode in it.
Yeah.
Being able to do your own stuff really was a blast for me, and it sucks they never brought it back.
I don't know why they took it off.
Well, they had to show off all their other stuff, so.
They thought it was a good idea.
That's cool. I wrote all those down, guys, because I'll be looking to add those to the collection.
Definitely. if you
Oh,
ever get a
nice!
chance,
I didn't know
definitely
you
play
didn't
it.
you didn't have those.
No, I didn't. I don't have too many wrestling games.
That's a surprise to me.
Yeah, I thought you had
One
those.
game. There is one game I will say stay away of. That's wrestling. WCW Backstage Assault. Trash.
I just picked it up.
That were not good.
You know what's funny? You're not the first person that told me that game is trash.
It's the thing that I don't understand is how can you make a wrestling game that doesn't involve a wrestling ring? The game is entirely backstage. It's all backstage fun.
Yeah.
Hence the word backstage.
Yeah, but it's
but
not. It's just so trash because you only have 2 match types in it, and the controls are complete reverse of everything that you know.
But that's one of the only games that they decided to change everything completely, and it didn't work at all.
Yeah, it was garbage. I had it for like 2 days, and I just brought it back to Blockbuster. I'm like, no, this isn't fun.
Oh man, I just picked that up the last weekend.
Oh.
Oh, it's a good thing I only need it for the full set of 64 games. I won't ever pick that one up and play it.
I mean, for some people it's different.
Test
Some
it out,
people
Bones.
like it.
You might like it.
No.
No,
I mean, yeah,
I don't think I am gonna like that one. Even my buddy Tommy.
He's like,
came over
forget this.
and
I'm not even
bought
going to
it.
give it a chance.
No, my
like,
buddy Tommy's
doing
like
that
all
evil
of us.
Jesus,
He
Logan.
loves those. But that game, he saw it and he's like, I never heard of this one. And he's like, I've heard of all the good wrestling games on the 64. So he won't even play it, and he never even heard of the damn thing.
Oh wow. Yeah, Bones, just like Logan, you ruined it. Just screw you, man.
So, as a former aspiring wrestler, do you have any cool stories about meeting actual real wrestlers?
Yeah, actually. One of the greatest stories I had is I actually have two stories. At our big year anniversary pay-per-views that we usually bring in like a couple famous wrestlers and stuff that usually come like whenever they're in the back, because I was usually working concessions and stuff while still training. So they would never let me like in the back to do anything there, or they would never let me like around the ring because I was still training and they didn't want me to get in trouble or get hurt with something that I wasn't fully known what to do about that yet. The first one was our year 2 pay-per-view. We actually had James Storm, the cowboy.
nice.
James Storm.
Nice.
We had him there, and I asked him for advice. Like literally, just stood there at the merch table probably an hour and a half, and we just talked wrestling all day. And he's a huge wrestling fan. Nice guy, coolest guy ever. And we just sat there, and he gave me probably the most important piece of advice. He goes, because I was having kind of trouble finding like a niche of what I wanted to do, and he said, if it doesn't work, switch it up into something else and include it at a later time. And he goes, it'll always work into something that you want it to. You just have to find where it's going to fit. And it was probably the most important piece of advice ever, because I kind of found my style and what I wanted to do as kind of like an infected version of a wrestler that you really wouldn't kind of know or kind of recognize. It's sort of like a mixture of like dark personas that make me a martyr to the wrestling business, and people like assume me to be cast aside or a cast out or a rebel with a cause or something. But it works for me, and it's one of those things that people want to know more about, but they're kind of like leery to learn. But once they figure it out, it just gets so over that it's like really cool. And the second story, we actually had one half of the Gangsters. We had Mustafa Saeed do a show for us. And I got to go in the back, and he was sitting down, and we talked ECW for 3 hours. Just how everything was back then. And he goes, the old days were so fun, man. It was just so enjoyable. And he goes, nowadays, there's a lot of companies out there that like to cushion things and like to, change wrestlers into what they want. He said, back in the day, man, you could just be yourself. But yeah, you can learn a lot of stuff from some of the old guys. So,
Man, no, I agree. They want to mold you into whatever they want, and I hated that because they want them to paint their face on others. They didn't want them to do stuff, and they said the character didn't work, and they just wanted you to change it.
Yeah.
And that's what made them them. Like, they made that character. It might not be completely crystal good to some person to see what it looks like, but you never know what it's going to be until you actually let them try.
Exactly.
Look at The Rock. The Rock's a prime example. He wasn't as over the top as he was in the beginning. He did do stuff, but then he would do like a random yell, and somebody would like that, and he would make it a little bit better. So,
yeah, I
they'll
mean,
get better.
The Rock even went on like record saying himself that when he started out, like he sucked, he didn't know anything, but with his like his lashbacks and his like one-liners and everything, people just kind of loved it and they wanted more. And I remember there was an interview that he did, and I don't remember exactly the source. Like somebody will find it like after seeing this video, or one of you guys can find it like after I talk about it. But like he didn't even know where the main hard camera was, and the hard camera is like the camera that kind of looks over the ring.
Close-ups, yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't even know where it was, and he was facing in the wrong direction.
He had his back turned. I remember that.
Yep. and he was just laughing about it, and he goes like, back then, like everybody knew me from my grandfather, and then when I started becoming The Rock, people hated me. And he goes like, the more I tried, the more people wanted to see me fail, and it wasn't until I became a heel that people started taking notice about who I was. So.
Yep, and another thing about The Rock is that a lot of his one-liners, he used to sit in a barber chair and talk to his barbers about the one-liners. That's not something that he just came up with one day. He would go in, sit in a barber chair, and talk to his barber about the one-liners.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that.
What were you gonna say, Dan?
I was just going to ask if you happen to catch, if Logan happened to catch the movie Fighting with My Family about Paige.
I've not yet. It's definitely on my radar. Definitely one I want to see, but I haven't seen it yet. A couple friends of mine have, and they've told me a bit here and there. But I would love to actually go see it.
Dan, any other question?
No, I think that's about it for me.
Linda?
I'm learning that we are all wrestling fans to some degree.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a wrestling fan probably from the late '80s to
the golden era.
maybe
That's where I'm at too.
maybe early 2000s. Then after that, I was done because
For me, oh, sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh no, I was just gonna say for me it would have had to been the Attitude Era, like back with the Monday Night Wars, WCW, WWF.
Yeah.
That was the golden period for me, and like as soon as they got done with that, it just went downhill.
Yeah, and that was
Nowadays,
probably
I don't really
right
care.
around the 2000s, early 2000s.
Yeah, would have been around 2003, I think. when
Yeah,
they
that's
ended.
probably when it got really bad after that, in my opinion. And I just grew up. I stopped watching. I had no interest in watching it anymore.
Yeah, the stories got really annoying.
And it just
Yeah,
got
they did.
really fake over time. It went from being like decent to them really, really turning into like a soap opera kind of drama bullshit.
Yeah, especially with that. I mean, like nowadays you have the AEW and stuff like that, and it's appealing to what the fans want. You know, they want that blood, they want the the hardcore, all that stuff that they loved back then. And like for me, I haven't even watched WWE in maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
The last time I
Watched it like the last time I watched it's like maybe 2009. I stopped watching after that because all the hardcore people that I used to watch either went to movies, to a different league, like they just left. Like when WWE now WWF messed over the Hardy Boys, I was like, I'm done. I'm so done.
All right. Linda, do you have any other questions for Logan?
Yes.
Go ahead.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
wow, she's not messing around with this one, is she?
Oh.
She asks us that quite often.
I'd like to get to know where you want to go.
If I could go anywhere in the world, where would it be? Why? There's one place that I've always wanted to visit. Like even when I was a kid, it was just so fascinating learning about it. Definitely Paris, France. Just to sightsee, go around and just see all the awesome history. Like being able to see the Eiffel Tower, being able to see the Church of Notre Dame. It's a city of love. It's a city of just so many cool stuff. And plus that, I'm kind of into the whole the catacombs and the spooky, scary factors and stuff like that. Just I'm kind of a horror guy. Like I like the scary stuff. But definitely Paris, France would be a cool place that I've always wanted to go to, and hopefully one day I'm able to. Maybe even do a live stream from it. You never know. So.
Wi-Fi is over there is bad, so that's a no.
Take it
Ruin
from
my
Linda.
dreams, Linda. Jeez.
No,
She's
I'm being
there.
real. Like, I was there, and
Oh, were you?
I went. Yeah, you can see the video. It's on Game Hunting. It says the cities I was in. It was like
I'll check that
London,
out.
Paris, and Rome. And at certain points, when you're at, the Wi-Fi cuts out. Even when you have you paid for the extra cellular service to be over there.
Oh, wow.
So, and then the phones that they have are the janky buy them just a month kind of thing. So
Yeah, the janky
those are the
Nokia
cheaper ones.
phones. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they have. So I mean,
There
you
you
can get a
go.
smartphone, but it's for like one country and that's it. So
Yeah.
I just bought the universal one that you can use for like pretty much everywhere, but like you don't have a smartphone, so I did connect to the Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi is not good. It just
I
doesn't
can vouch for that
hold
because
up to
she was
anything.
trying to talk to me, and yeah, no.
Uh,
Maybe for a
Yeah, it
brief
was-
amount of time, like she would talk to me on Voxer for a very little amount of time, and then she would disappear, and the purple light would take her.
is it too late for me to change my answer? Just
No, go
I
ahead.
would say still go. No, still go. It's a beautiful city. The Eiffel Tower is great. You know, everything you were talking about, the Notre Dame was amazing. It's just don't expect to stream. That's what I was trying to tell you. Like, if you do stream, you're gonna need like an extra boost somewhere. Like, you can't stream just randomly outside somewhere.
Yeah.
But you can like definitely like just chill like we're in like one spot that has like amazing internet.
yeah, no, like I would love to go to Paris, France, but one other place that I would have to go, and this kind of ties in with kind of the same thing, but Athens, Greece. I'm a huge mythology fan. Love
Nice.
Greek
Then you
mythology, Norse mythology, yeah, stuff like.
Then you must love God of War.
Oh, one of my favorites. Absolutely one of my favorite games ever. The old series, the whole hack and slash games, just the mythology of it, the story. The new one, I've played religiously. I haven't beat it yet because I kind of stopped because I know that was all I was playing for like 2 months straight. I just wouldn't play anything else, and so I kind of had to wean myself off of it. And I just quit playing it altogether. And I need to go back, but
That's the worst thing you can do, though, is like wean yourself off a game and then go back and then forget what the damn controls were.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, it's remembering where you are in the story.
That's it.
Because especially like
Yeah,
God
that
of
too.
God of War, it's not like, oh yeah, go here and do this where you were, but it's you have to like go backtrack and figure out. Just like I couldn't stop playing Legend of Zelda games. Like you can't do that. There's
Nope.
no way you're forget exactly what you're doing.
That's
Yeah,
why I never get
me
back
with
to
Mass
them.
Effect. Yeah, that was me with Mass Effect today. So because I kind of reinstalled it. It's like, you know what? It's been a while since I played it, and resumed, and I had no idea where I was, no idea what the controls were, and it was like, well, damn, okay, controls, no. Well,
Logan, I had a hard time with Tony Hawk Project 8 today because I couldn't figure out how to do the manual and the grind properly without screwing it up. Oh, man, I tell you.
Oh, that was me with Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. I was playing that game with a buddy of mine a few days ago. He has a game for PlayStation 2. And literally, we were playing it maybe a week ago, and literally just forgot the controls one day. And I'm like, "Yo, you still got the manual for this thing?" He goes, "No, I haven't found it." And I'm literally having to turn to him like, "Hey, how do you do this trick? You know, how do you do this?" I don't know. You got to figure it out. What use are you, man? Like.
Trial and error, that's what I was doing.
Pretty much.
Yeah, no, any Tony Hawk game is trial and error until you get to figure like what's going on with everything.
Speaking of Tony Hawk, have any of you ever played Shred with the actual board?
It's bad.
No, I wanted to get it, but I haven't picked it up yet.
Oh, it's bad. I tried doing some tricks. It doesn't do what you want it to do. Even if you flick correctly, it doesn't register completely, and it's just a hot mess.
I haven't had any issues with mine.
And you're lucky, because I did mine and it just didn't work. Maybe the sensor was off on that one, but
Could have been. I mean, it is
it just
finicky, but
yeah.
it's not horrible. But I mean, it was a cool way of them interacting. Putting the board in there.
Well, I know that's the thing is they were going too gimmicky, and that's kind of what everybody lost with Tony Hawk the minute that he started going too gimmicky. Like, yeah, you can do the flick system, that's fine, but when he got to the shred boards and then the ride board, and it was like, really?
Yeah.
How many boards do you need? And now
Yeah,
literally everybody
one is
just
enough,
skates the damn
obviously.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody just skates the damn thing. They just do flips tricks on it.
Logan, do you like using like all sorts of accessories like that, like the board or flight joysticks or things along those lines, other accessories.
It really depends on the game. I know when I was playing Ace Combat, me and a buddy of mine, we actually used to go nuts on that game, and we did use the flight sticks and everything else, and we did
It's
fantastic.
fun, ain't it?
Oh, it's a blast.
Hell yeah.
To add on to what Linda was saying, Tony Hawk did become too gimmicky, but the one game I think they did perfect on that they need to make a fourth to is the EA skate games.
I personally don't know much about the EA skate games.
Oh, I love Skate.
Skate 3.
Did you, Logan? Have you seen Sessions? Oh, that's so beautiful.
I have, and I've actually wanted to try it.
It's gonna go on console, man. You gotta get it.
Oh, is it on console?
It's gonna be on console 2020. It was kickstarted. I saw this game from like beta when it was brand new. It wasn't even out yet, and they were just showing like little like snippets of like gameplay, and I fell in love with this game. And I had like I backed it. And I did everything. Like I even made a video on it. I was like, dude, everybody's got to try to get this to backed, and it got backed. And then it peaked and it went above and beyond the what was asked for. And so now it's going to be on PS4, Xbox One. I don't know if it's going to be on disc or if it's just going to be digital, but I'm definitely going to get it when it goes to console.
Oh, I'm going to try everything in the world to get that. Definitely, because if it's anything like the skate games, man, like I'm going to fall in love with it.
It is. It's actually it's different than the skate games. So it's one analog controls one leg, another analog controls a different leg. So it's really good, man. Like it's hard to get to figure it out at first, but once you get it down, oh, the animation is so beautiful. You can hear the flick, and when they flick, the foot moves the correct way. It's so good.
Oh wow! So it's like a full physics skate game then.
Yes, it's one of those games, and anybody who's listening, go check out the trailers, man. And there's actually a couple people that got the game. Like they have it's on PC right now, fully ready, and I don't know if it's not fully ready on console yet, but there's like demos, you can play it. If you go to the website, I can't remember the website's name because they changed the name of the game midway. It used to be something Sessions and then Project Sessions. It was Project Sessions and then now it's just Session. Oh, cool. So definitely go check it out. Find it. It's amazing, man. And then, because it's better than my personal opinion, is better than Skater XL. I don't like Skater XL that much. It's too ragdolly for me. I like this one better.
All right. Is there any other questions for Logan?
I'm good. I have everything
I
said.
asked everything I had on my mind.
You had a couple more, Linda.
Dan, anything?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. I have a question.
Good.
Where did your name come from, Big Evil?
Yes. If I had $1 for every time I had to tell this story, man, I wouldn't be doing YouTube. I tell you.
Well, you know it was going to be asked in the podcast.
Yes, I did. I knew. Of course I did. But yeah, so the name actually came. I was actually playing high school football. I was a defensive nose guard when I was playing football. And they first put me on offense, and I would just hit the guys way too hard. And my coach at the time, he's like, man, like we don't need this guy to be on offense, basically just, not even doing any good for us. So we're going to go ahead and put him on defense. And did a lot better on defense. Was brutal about it. Was cutthroat. The only job that a nose guard has is to get the quarterback, get the ball. That's the only job. And so we went ahead and put me on defense and actually did pretty well. And we had our homecoming game that was coming up against our rivals. And, coach calls me in. He goes, all right, go ahead and do it. And the other team, they had this quarterback. This is no joke. And I would literally, and this story is, I think it's on my storytime, one of my storytime videos. But literally was a shrimp kid, maybe 5'4", 5'5", not any taller than 5'5". But anyway, I get on there, and I'm getting the the 3-point stance, and I'm ready to go, and I'm just gearing up. And all of a sudden, hike the ball, break through the line, and this kid, I'm getting there, and I'm just running full force. This kid, and the kid looks at me and he goes, "Ah!" and just runs the other way and starts like trying to get around me. And I grab the kid, pick him up, carry him from 10 yards, and I just like spear him right into the ground. And the ref came over because he thought I like broke the kid's back or something. Kid was all right, got up after about maybe 10 seconds. But like as soon as the kid screamed, like everybody on my team was laughing. And we get back to the huddle. Coach calls a timeout, calls me over, and tells me, "Hey, good job," and gets back out. And all of a sudden, I can hear my coach yell from behind my back, "That is one big evil son of a bitch!" And it kind of just stuck, and that was the name. And also, I'm a wrestling fan, so it's kind of has a double meaning with it as well. So
That's awesome.
Oh man, that's funny.
Poor guy.
No, I shook hands with the guy later. Like he was just like, "Damn, dude, like you're good." And I said, "Well, that's my job."
Was he shaking when he shook your hand?
he was literally like, and it was so funny because like I remember when I tackled him, like you could just see like an imprint in the grass and just the dude's leg shaking on the grass. And I mean, he wasn't really shaking. He was just like, "Oh, that one hurt, man." Like, "Hey, good job."
Yeah, that's the thing about defense. Defense has no friends.
No, we don't care. We only have one job.
My son, he plays hockey and he's defense. I'm like, you got to treat being on defense like all those people out there besides your team aren't your friends.
Yep.
So he's getting there though. He's getting better.
That's good.
Yeah. But if there is no other questions, we are going to close out the podcast.
Yeah.
Anything? Anyone?
One question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Logan, out of the wrestling games on Super Nintendo and Sega, which one is the best? Is it WrestleMania?
Oh man, I'm trying
It's
to
gonna be a
think.
tough one here.
That's a hard one.
That is a hard one. I'm trying to think of all the wrestling games on NES and Sega. I'm trying to think.
WWF Raw, that's one. I mean, I don't know all of them off the top of my head either.
Of course,
You
you'd
got
have
a
to give me the
bunch on
hard
NES.
one towards the end of them. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Because
do
I
the
want
Homer
to get
walking into
WrestleMania.
the back of the fence and just walking away.
Yeah, right. Just ready to. Wasn't expecting that
Walk
one. That's
away.
a tough one.
I'll
But
keep you on your toes. There's Royal Rumble. There's the Super WrestleMania. There's Raw.
now I have heard that Raw is a good one. WrestleMania definitely is a good one to start with. But Raw definitely. I enjoyed playing Raw. I did have Raw. It was a lot of fun for me. WrestleMania definitely a good one to start with. Also, another good wrestling game, and it's not like WWF branded or anything like that, is Tecmo Pro Wrestling. It's actually a very good game.
I think I have that actually. I always liked Royal Rumbles the best for some reason. I don't know why.
Because you could throw people out of the ring.
No, maybe because you could just have that many people at one time coming in. I mean, it always was fun.
Another good one, and I'm trying to remember if it got ported or not. Because, like I said, it's just my brain is mush today with that question. But I think it's the WrestleMania arcade game, is what it is. But it has like it's from Midway. I know that, and it has like aspects of a little of Mortal Kombat when it has kind of like surreal stuff you can do, like with the Undertaker. You can like shoot ghosts at people and hit people with tombstones and stuff. And it's really arcadey.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
What system is that for?
I believe it's either Super Nintendo or it's
Nintendo.
for Super Nintendo. Yeah, and it's one I'm looking for as well.
Yeah, the Undertaker pulls out a tombstone and he whacks you. It's like one of his moves.
Yeah, it's definitely one that I'm looking for.
Hey, Logan, as a wrestler, do you have time to develop your own signature move or a finishing move at all?
Yeah, that is one thing that they really kind of press on you, is that they want you to be original, and they want you to kind of add your own little twist to stuff. Like one of the moves that I want to do, and I know again I'm gonna catch hell for saying this, but when I was younger, I was a backyarder, and it was really hard for me because they found out, because we made videos on YouTube and stuff that I don't even know if they're there anymore. But I would do stupid stuff like jump into glass, jump into like barbed wire and all this stupid stuff that we did, because I was a huge ECW fan and did all that stupid stuff. But when they found out, it was hell to try to come out of that, because they would literally just trash on you and throw you in the dirt, because it's considered like taboo to do that. But yeah, they want you to be original, and they want you to kind of add your own twist on it and do your own thing.
That's cool. Your finishing move should be the game ender.
But only he plays open world games.
I actually like that. I like that.
The finishing move should be the dust lever.
Well, I had a lot of buddies that I still talk to a few of them, and they did that, Logan, and their bodies are pretty effed up now. Knees, backs, because they did the same crap. They did it all in the backyard. They'd smash each other through tables. They'd throw paint can lids at each other, hit each other in the head. I mean, they were ridiculous with it, and they record it. And I don't know if they put really many on YouTube, but they had VHS tapes of it, and I used to go there, and I would be the camera guy. I'm too damn skinny to be getting slammed through a table, so I made sure I didn't get involved in that. But they definitely, your body takes a beating, I know, from doing backyard wrestling, because you're not doing it properly 9 out of 10. And you're right, people do tend to look down on you for it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one thing that, for me, I was glad that I got out of it when I did, because the last time that I did like a backyard wrestling match, I actually screwed up my shoulder, and I'm pretty sure I tore my rotator cuff in my left shoulder.
Ooh.
Because for a certain amount of like years, I could only lift my arm so far up without it hurting me, and it was from doing something that I wasn't properly trained on. That I was one of the guys that, and I mean, I still am to this day when it comes to certain things, but I'm willing to try anything once just to say, hey, I did it, you know. And it's kicked me in the ass a couple of times, but definitely it was stupid on my part, and I'm glad that I stopped doing it when I did and got the opportunity to actually go get trained and learn about this stuff and do it right and safely. Because a friend of mine actually had to quit because he dislocated his kneecap and broke his femur by doing the same thing that I did literally maybe 4 months prior. And I told him, and I said, I'm so glad that I got out when I did, because that could have as easily been me. And it would have been a disaster. My career would have been destroyed before it even began. And with that, it was more of a warning sign than anything else. Like, you made a good choice getting out of there when you did.
For sure.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But basically, to add on to the originality, like, and I was gonna say this, but I totally slipped my mind. One of the moves that I used when I was doing backyard wrestling, and I was actually trained how to do this correctly by a guy that got trained in Iowa in this place called the Vault. It's IPW, and I got trained how to do a Hawaiian Smasher or a TKO. It's basically put the guy on your shoulders, swing him around, and you hit him with a cutter. And I was going to use that because I had became known for doing that. And I couldn't do it because somebody else was already using that move. So I was kind of like,
oh man.
Oh, that
damn,
sucks.
like that sucks, because I've been doing it so well, and that's like one of the moves that I like really know how to do well.
Didn't Randy Randy do that move?
He does just a regular standing diamond cutter. He doesn't really do a TKO. That nowadays you'd see it from I'm trying to think of the guy. Like one of the more recent guys. I think it's EC3. I think that does it now.
Yeah, I don't know the recent people.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, he's like one of the more recent guys of years, but I know he was in TNA before he went over to WWE. So
All right. So let's finish this podcast off, and we're gonna do the last segment, which is Game of the Month. Basically, you're just gonna tell me what your current game of the month is, and if you want to give a little brief description as to why, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine. You can just say your game of the month, and we'll start with Bones.
All right. Let's start with me today, huh? Okay. Well, let me see here. If I'm gonna have to pick a game for the month, let's see here. I was debating on saying The Evil Dead, but after playing that a little bit today, the camera really pissed me off because when you hit left, it goes right, and when you hit right, it goes left. So that's not going to be my game of the month, unfortunately. I'm going to have to go with what play? Oh man, I mean I played a few games, but I don't know what to pick here. Let's just go with something simple. Let's just go with Super Mario 3. That's going to be my game of the month.
Okay. And Dan?
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I picked kind of a similar game. But I mean, before I get to that, yeah, I just want to say it's been a really interesting podcast day with Logan here. So
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, but my game seems kind of inappropriate, but it's Yoshi's Crafting World. I just recently picked this up, and it's a really cute game. So for the Switch, so I highly recommend it if you are into any of the Yoshi games.
I've heard that's a pretty good one. I might have picked that up
Awesome.
myself.
What are you doing at Dan Craft?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Jeez,
boy.
What do you do, Chris? Make sleeves?
Captain Hindsight.
Gosh, man.
Captain Obvious. And Linda?
Okay, so my game of the month is NBA Jam. I've been playing that a little bit more now.
She's on fire!
Which system?
Yeah, which system?
Game Gear.
Game Gear.
Ooh, wow. I wasn't thinking you were going to go there.
She's heating
I
up.
have a full set of Game Gear games almost. I have like a ton of Game Gear games.
Nice.
Awesome, Linda.
Man. I also have a Retro Pi. So if I don't want to grab the game, I just go put it in my Retro Pi and play that.
Oh, you lucky person, you.
I don't have a RetroPie, believe it or not.
Actually, it is a good thing to have because with you have a lot of games and everything like that. It's sometimes I forget where I put everything, even though it's organized. I'm like, where specifically is this game?
Do you know how to build
I don't
them?
care. I'm
and-
just gonna go put it on.
Do you know how to build them and set them up yourself?
No, I tried. Okay, so funny story. I'm not gonna name the YouTuber's name, but I was watching this YouTuber and I bought my first RetroPie unbuilt, not realizing it because the YouTuber was like, "Hey, this is a great deal. It's this. You get some controllers and you get everything." And I thought it was pre-built for the price that they were charging. And come to find out, it wasn't pre-built. So I'm over here trying my hardest to set it up, to add everything, you know, all the software, the RetroPie, everything like that. I crashed and burned the first time. Second time I did it, I had Travis, who I share my Twitch channel with, help me. And even with two people, we were not putting it in the code correctly, so it wasn't registering for some reason. So we finally, after like trying the code like 3 or 4 times, finally got it to work. But I will say I'm not going to do it anymore. I bought this one that I have now at a convention, and I paid the same price for the one that I thought was pre-built. And that one, the guy did a great job. He literally made everything, the interface, the stuff, all easy to get to. almost all the ROMs are completely workable, which I've when I put in the ROMs that I did, most of them didn't work. So yeah, man, don't, unless you know by heart all the stuff and how to program everything, it's such a crapshoot. It's really hard to do. And if you corrupt your SD card, you're screwed. You have to start over from scratch.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be attempting any of that.
Yeah, no.
See, if I knew how to do it on PC,
I'm telling you,
would.
I know, man.
Shit, my PC would be flying out the window. I can tell you
The
that.
thing is the PC, it's I've done stuff for PC, and this is completely different in my opinion, because the emulation software, the RetroPie, has to be a specific code. Like,
Oh wow.
you can't be off a little bit. You know what I mean? Like PC, at least when you mess up, you can start and just clear that and go back to where you were. This one, you have to like go step by step, and if you mess up anywhere, you have to like uninstall it, reinstall it. I don't know why. It's just weird. It wouldn't work for me. That's a no. I will never. And if the retro, and the one thing I like about this is the one that I bought from the guy at the convention. If anything doesn't work, he said, and he's done this. You go and email him. You just say, hey, there's something that messed up. Something happened. He will give you a new SD card. Dude,
That's good.
dope.
That's cool.
So
I might-
man, like,
I might have to get that
yeah,
contact.
I'll give you the information later if
Yeah.
you want it.
Cool, yeah.
Dan, you don't have retro pies?
I do. I
He
like.
does. Don't let him fool you.
Well, I do. I like Linda. I bought mine because I just got over. At first, I bought one and I was going to put together myself, and I got overwhelmed with the code and all that kind of stuff. I just,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The code, it
Yeah.
seems so easy. They make it sound like it's the easiest thing. The YouTuber that I'm not mentioning the name made it seem so easy. Like it was like, oh, it's so easy. Like everything's already set up. Everything, all you have to do is just add the ROMs.
yeah.
And when I did it, I got it. Literally, I just got the board, the case, a couple controllers, and the cables, and that was it. And nothing was added to it. So Dan's right. It's just the code is so finicky. If you're off by any symbol, it will freak out. It will not do anything correctly.
So basically,
To
what
mention, you
you're
have to
saying is it's just like a Commodore 64.
Yes, literally, it's a Commodore 64.
Leave it
Yeah.
up to professionals.
Dude, and I've played a Commodore 64. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know how to, like, I thought, oh, like, I'm good. I can do it. But even the Commodore 64 had stuff pre-built. You know what I mean? Like, this is, like, from the ground up. Like, you're building, like, a website for the first time. Like, it literally feels like that. It's a no for me. I will not be building any RetroPies and making money off of it.
Okay, so Logan, what's your game of the month?
Oi, I'm trying to decide whether I want to go more modern or not.
Whatever you feel.
Yeah, you know what? We'll definitely go for it. I actually have 2 games of the month, actually, and if I'm okay to do that,
Yep, that's
Chris,
fine.
that's fine.
Yep.
All right. So the first game of the month, if you guys like Sons of Anarchy meets The Walking Dead, then you're gonna love this game. Linda probably already knows the game that I'm talking about. And that game is going to be Days Gone. You're basically stuck in a zombie apocalyptic world. Your only mode of transportation is a motorcycle. You belong into a motorcycle gang called the Mongrels. You go around, you kill all sorts of different zombies, and they get worse and worse as you progress. And you also got to deal with rival places that you got to deal with as well. Really awesome game, big open world concept. Compelling story, absolute fantastic story. Some people don't like it. Not gonna name names. Certain friends of mine that don't like it, but I don't know why. They're just crazy. Great game for the PlayStation 4. Pick it up if you haven't. Second one, I actually have this on the Xbox. It's The Outer Worlds. It's made by developers of Fallout New Vegas Oblivion. A great open world game. Takes place in space. You get to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Some of the aspects are kind of the same. Some are different. great games. Pick them up. Those are my games of the month.
Okay, my game of the month is, believe it or not, Cruising the World. Who's played it?
Love
have
that
not,
game.
I
Play the
haven't.
arcade.
You played it in the arcade, Bones?
Yes, sir.
No.
I played it in the arcade.
Oh, you played it in the arcade. Yeah, I played it in the arcade too. Played a lot of that in the arcade, actually. Anybody
Yeah, I
else?
played in the arcade.
Dan?
That's that driving game, like Cruising USA. Is
Yes,
that right?
same
Okay, yeah.
same concept,
One.
except you travel the world instead of just standing in the U.S.
I can't remember. Is that the one that had the dinosaur world where you could like actually smash into dinosaur?
I'm not sure,
I-
actually.
Believe so, but I can't remember exactly because I've played all the cruising games, so I kind of like meshed them all together.
Have you played
Yeah.
Cruising Exotica?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's the only one I haven't played.
That's what I'm saying. Like I played all of them because I literally would jump from arcade to arcade, so I literally would play. And now with most of the conventions having all the arcade cabinets in it, it's like I'm playing all the ones that I missed from my childhood. So yeah, man, that's another reason I like to go to conventions because a bunch of museums or arcade bars would bring all their cabinets over just to like display them. So definitely gotta go, man.
Always a
Yeah,
plus.
it's definitely a goal for. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's definitely a goal for me. Is I want to make it to 2 Minute Games 2020.
That you were joining the boat with everybody in here but Linda.
Yep, we all want to go.
I'll be there.
Man,
Yeah, I'll be there.
I don't know if I'll be there.
Chris, you need to go. You have 2 friends who are literally nearby you that will go with you.
That's not specifically the issue.
I know, but I'm saying, come on. You gotta believe. You can achieve.
All right,
Let's do
all right,
it.
Nate. All right, Nate.
Yeah, I'd have to acquire the funds just for plane tickets over there would be outrageous.
Come on, man. If I can do it, you can do it. Gotta believe.
Yeah, I know.
And
I know.
achieve. But I will say what I did was I started saving little bit each month instead of a large amount at one time. So buy the tickets first, then the plane, and then the hotel. And
Yeah.
then just like that's what I did. And then just save a few bucks. I only took bare minimum for game hunting and that was it, and food and stuff. And then just prepare to like go to like 7-Eleven before you go to the hotel. And then literally you got your sodas and your water and what you need to do, drink, and
Prepare to
go
be
eat
blown
food
away.
at there, and that's it. Yep, because all the money's gonna go to your games, you know.
Yep.
That's what I recommend to anybody for any convention. If you're struggling because you want to go to conventions but you don't have the money, even if you save, say like 20-30 bucks in each, start from the minute you find out what convention you want to go to. There. And then if you don't know what you want to go next year, the following year. So that gives you more time because there's conventions that I want to go to, but I can't afford it. So I plan for the following year. And then that way I can get the better tickets too, because VIP tickets usually sell out instantly. So if you want to go VIP, you're going to be first in line because you're going to know exactly when everything's going to go on sale. Sign up for the newsletters so you get news about everything that's upcoming. And then you can figure out which one you want to go to. Stuff like that. And there's stuff in your area too.
For sure.
Man, we better stay up on top of this, Dan.
Yeah. Luckily,
I'm telling you.
Luckily, I live like 20 minutes from Too Many Games where they hold it, so I can save funds.
Woohoo!
I can save funds on the hotel there.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the beauty of it. Another thing I do is I share like hotel rooms with friends. I definitely recommend, like, even if you guys just share like go to like a house, a bed and breakfast, rent it out, and then you have multiple rooms. And it's actually cheaper than renting from a hotel because you got incidentals and then you got the fees. Sometimes there's a resorts fees if depending on which hotel you go to. And then you go to a house or a bed and breakfast and stuff like that. It's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
So I always have backup plans too, just in case. But yeah, man, there's ways to save money and there's ways to get to where you need to go. You just gotta motivate yourself and remember that pile of money that you are putting aside for. That's to go to something that you probably will never get to see ever again. So just think of it like that. And that's how I made it to Europe. That's how I made it to, all the conventions I've gone to. Like literally just scrounging money. That Starbucks coffee that you really want, take it out. You don't need that. You can go make yourself some coffee. Save yourself about $4.
That is your Starbucks coffee.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, people don't realize that in order to do something else, you have to sacrifice for something else. So instead of like me going to get like go out and eat and do what I want to do like every weekend, I don't do that. I don't go out every weekend to go party and go have fun. That's my fun. I don't go see a bunch of movies. I don't go, like randomly go and buy all the games that I want anymore. Because that's most of my money used to go to buy all the games. Now I limit myself to like 1 or 2 games a month. And then the rest of it goes to conventions now. Sacrifices.
Well, yeah, if you really want to do something, I mean, you're going to do it. Point blank.
Let's do it.
Anyway, good advice. And I'm going to close this podcast out.
Probably been going on long enough, right?
I told you, tangents.
I would like to thank everybody for doing the podcast, including Logan, most importantly, because this is his first time doing it.
Appreciate you guys having me, man. It was definitely been a fun ride.
No problem at all. Thanks to my original cast here, the ones that are always here.
I had a great time as always, man.
Hey, I'll be coming back next time. No, no doubt about that.
I will definitely keep you in the loop. And as always, don't blow, just sleeve.
Man.